Hi and welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is all about hitting that elusive draw off the tee, specifically aimed at the Masters. Now the reason why it's a Masters video is because we have to hit quite a few draw tee shots at the Masters and obviously quite a few fade tee shots at the Masters if we were going to play. Now hopefully one day we'll all get a chance to play that course, but it is unlikely we'll all get out there. And unlikely I'll get out there too, but I'd love to play that course. So I want to talk about hitting that drawing tee shot, specifically looking at like the 13th hole at Augusta and looking at how we would change the setup rather than changing the swing shape to hit that shot. Now the setup will change the swing shape a little bit, but I would rather that than manipulating the golf swing to hit a specific shot on the course, which would lead to more inconsistencies. Okay, the draw shot off the tee, and what you'll see with some golfers in the Masters is they'll actually hit the fairway with the draw off the tee. Now the reason behind that, obviously with the 3-wood compared to a driver, there's fractionally less roll and bulge on the face, so the strike is less important. So if they hit it in the heel with the driver, for example, the ball's not going to draw. Hit it in the toe, it's going to draw excessive. So more loft also. When we go to hit the draw, we're actually taking loft off the club. So it makes sure we get still good launch conditions, and shorter shaft makes it easier to do, and etc, etc, etc. So that's part of the reason why they do it. And the distance they hit the 3-woods these days, they hit it as far as they would do probably a driver anyway with the draw shot. So, and also they might well look, particularly on hole 13 like we're talking about here, is the run out. So with the 3-wood run out, if they hit it straight, will they run out into those pine needles as much as they would do with the driver? So there's lots of variables in why they might use a fairway wood instead of the driver. It does feel, from my own personal experience, easier to draw a 3-wood than drawing a driver intentionally. So what I want to talk about with this video is changing the setup rather than changing the mechanics. Now the setup does alter the mechanics ever so slightly, but in theory we're doing the same relative swing direction, swing plane to our body as we would do normally. So there's no manipulation with the hands or arms compared to a normal swing, and that's kind of what I want. If I find you get to a tee and all of a sudden you say, I'm going to draw this, when you start giving it a lot more forearm release, a lot more hand action, that's going to create for me a lot of inconsistencies. What I want is to be as consistent as I possibly can, use the same swing as much as I possibly can, alter the setup to alter the ball flight, then it becomes much more predictable. So what we're going to do here is just talk you through how we're going to change the setup and then try and produce our normal swing. Now bear in mind, if our normal swing would be a fade bias swing, then hitting a draw we might find it goes fairly straight. So if we have a normal tendency to hit a certain shot, this will reduce that tendency or increase the tendency towards a right to left shape, but it might not get all the way depending on your swing pattern you currently have. So if we look from down the line here, if I imagine I was taking my square stance as normal, so my feet, shoulders and hips would be parallel to kind of this line as I got here. That's my kind of what I call my ball to target line. Obviously this club is sat just to the right of these balls, so it's not quite my ball to target line, but it's representing my ball to target line. The idea now will be I'm going to shift my body round, so I'm now on this outer line. So I'm now aiming everything to the right of my intended target. The second thing I'm going to do is put the club head, what would be now facing on the middle line. It's not quite in the middle, it's kind of slightly favouring the new ball to target line, but it's going to be close to our intended target line and open and pointing right to our original target line. Now the science behind this is basically when we have what we call a non-square impact, so a closed club face of contact, the ball will start closer to where this face is pointed. Now the amount it starts closer to the face with the driver is 85%, and then 25% where the path is going. So the differential between the path and face creates the tilted axis and the curve, and that's what we're looking for. It's not about the club face doing A, B or C, nothing of that. It's the differential between the two. The relationship between the two is important. So what I want to see really is making sure this club face is closed in relation to where we're swinging, but the club face is pointing right at target. Now you might say to me, why does the face need to be right at target? Now, if the face isn't right at target, the ball will finish left of target, because the ball always crosses the point of where the face is pointing. So if I'm aiming at the camera here and I aim the face at you and swing there, the ball will start in between these two, obviously 85% closer to this club face, and it'll curve past this club face and finish over here left of target. That's not exactly what we want. So what we want to do really is aim everything to the right, close the club face a few degrees. So this is aiming right to the camera, for example, but you're my target, the camera. So the ball will start in between these two here, curve past this face position and finish it around about the target, or even just to the right of target is pretty cool also. Kind of what I want to see with when people shot shape like this is I want you to try and take one side of the course out of play. Not always possible, we still have to hit good shots and strike it well. But if I can make it when I try and hit a draw shot that the ball never finishes left of target or hardly ever finishes left of target, I can stand on that tee there very confident that's what I'm going to do. So, the process. If we imagine we have this hole in front of us here, which you can probably all see on camera, and I'm going to move these clubs a fraction because they're in the way. If I imagine that flag was my target, what I'm going to do now is aim right to that target. So if I looked at the building over in the corner, I look at the edge of the green building here, the very edge, I'm going to aim everything as square as I can at that green edge of building. Like so. Take my stance completely as I would normally. Then I'm going to rotate the club head to point in between the green building and the flag. So literally rotate it a couple of degrees. Then I'm going to retake my grip as normal. So it's now on the handle in a different place, but it's still as normal in relation to my body. Then from there, I am going to go ahead and make what I would call a normal swing that would be orthodox to me. So that one just overdrew a bit. I hit it a little bit in the toe. That's part of the reason it overdrew, but that would be the process I would do every single time. And the fade would be the complete opposite. So again, for consistency's sakes, what I'm looking for is the same setup every single time. And, sorry, the same swing every single time, and then alter the setup to change the shape of the shot. That way it's much more predictable and easier to do, and we should have much more consistency. So have a look at how the guys in the Masters do it this week. Hopefully you won't see a different pattern in how their arms move and stuff move. You might see them trying to save some shots. So good golfers are very clever. If they feel the ball is going to the right, you'll see them trying to save it a bit more with their arms or body, or the shoulder action would be different. But that's just reactive stuff and mostly subconscious. Have a go changing your setup for fade and draw and see how it helps you produce that draw shot that we're going to see a lot in the Masters this week on TV. Hope you've enjoyed this video on hitting that draw shot off the tee. If you have, please click like down below. That really helps my channel grow. Also chat down below. Let me know how you're enjoying the Masters. Let me know if who you thought would win is winning or has won, if depending on the date of this video. I think this video is going to come out just before the end of the Masters, to be fair. But also tell me what videos you want to hear from me in the future. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've got regular content coming every week on a variety of subjects. Thanks for watching. Catch you again here soon.